everybody, it's me, Darren Crow, storyteller and puppet guy. And here we are together to study a little bit about telling stories and making puppets. I love puppets. I always have. I love watching puppet shows. I love using puppets to tell stories. There is so much that you can do with puppets. Now, we've got several different kinds of puppets that we're going to be working with here, all made with things that are easily available around your house and that you can make on your own. Well, we should get started. Stick puppets are one of the easiest puppets to make, but they can be as simple or as big and elaborate as you want to come up with. It's pretty easy. Now, you can use just about anything from around the house. I'm going to work on cutting out my stick puppet as we go along here. I've been working on a giraffe. I've got my great big tub of odds and ends over here. And, well, it's probably kind of like the junk drawer in quite a few of your houses. It's got lots of things in it. Why, here is a big bag of pom-poms. Pom-poms make everything better, I can tell you that. Okay, you might not have a big thing of ribbons in your house, but you might have some string and some yarn. Ribbons and string and yarn make terrific hair. And what about the bows and the ribbon in your wrapping paper box, if you've got a wrapping paper box in the house? And we haven't even touched on the recycle bin. This is Madam Phyllis. She's very silly. And Madam Phyllis, I have to say you look a little bit disheveled. Well, of course I look a little bit disheveled. I've been stuck in a paper bag for months on end. Oh. I'm very sorry, Lady Phyllis. Lady Phyllis has a coffee filter for a skirt. She's got some leftover Christmas tinsel for hair. I believe that's a bit of pipe cleaner for her mouth. A couple of foam whatsy-doos for eyes. And oh, she's actually made out of an old travel-size shampoo bottle. That's her body, with a little bit of fabric glued over top. And this is her little minion, Mortimer. Mortimer the minion. Mortimer is made out of the top part of some of a bottle, and then the top of a thing of dishwasher fluid. He's got a couple of old beads for an eye, and a piece of straw that is his mouth. And this, I think, might be an old pair of socks. Now, when we get our giraffe all cut out, the next question is, what do we stick him on? Well, I said I like bendy straws an awful lot. But not everybody has a bendy straw in their cupboard. So what do we do then? Why, we figure out how to solve our problem. Absolutely, a pencil would work. Yeah, you could tape your stick puppet to a pencil. Could you stick it to a pen also? Yeah, a pen would work just fine. A kebab skewer. Just don't poke yourself with the other end of it. I know one, because I was thinking about this. How about a long spoon from the kitchen drawer? You could absolutely tape your stick puppet to that spoon. Your folks might need it back eventually for cooking with. But that's okay. You can always put it back on when they're done with it. There are a couple of different ways to put the stick on your stick puppet. You could, we'll use our spoon, stick it from the bottom so that as you're holding it, you run your stick puppet from the bottom. But if you look at some videos online and different stories, you'll see there are lots of different ways to do that stick. You could also put the stick on from the top of the puppet. If, say, you were doing a puppet theater in a box, you might want to put them down from the top and have them go that way. For that matter, you could go from the side. It's really up to you. So I would love to see some ideas that you come up with for making puppets. Whether that be drawing them and cutting them out, whether that be finding things from your recycle bin or your junk drawer to use, or any other creative ideas you come up with. I would love to see your pictures and your videos. And be thinking about what kind of characters you could create with your stick puppets and what kind of stories you can tell. I bet you've come up with some cool ideas for puppets that you could make. Now, these are a couple of mine from the 3 Little Pigs. This was the littlest pig, you remember, and this is the biggest pig, and oh, there's the wolf. Now, the great thing about creating stories is they can be however you want them to be. If you were telling the 3 Little Pigs, I bet you'd tell it really differently from the way I do. You might use some different voices. You might choose to make the wolf a completely different kind of wolf. I mean, how would this story go if the wolf, instead of having that great big voice that he had, well, what if the wolf had a very tiny little voice like this? It would be a whole lot of a different kind of wolf. Little pig, let me come in. Boy, it is really tough to be tough and intimidating sounding with a voice like that, isn't it? You got it, mister. That's why I have such a very big brrr. Oh. So you see, you can play with your characters. Now, think about our little pigs. I had this one be little and not all that bright because he was going to make his house out of straw, and this one be the smart one because he was making his house out of bricks. But there are all kinds of other reasons they might choose that, aren't there? Well, of course. So you can play with how those characters make their choices. You can play with what kind of person it is. Are they nice? Are they scared? Are they smart? Are they clever? Are they not so smart or clever? There's all kinds of choices you can make. And so much fun you can have playing with these stories. Well, friends, I hope you have a great time playing and telling stories with your stick puppets. And I would love to see pictures and videos of the stories you create. So make sure and send them in. Have a great day.